Hello, everybody, and welcome to Day 3 of E3. Guys, today was an interesting day. A real interesting day, but what a time to be alive, what a time to be a video gamer, and what a time to get involved with video games as a community. Guys, we're on the ground floor of something special, and we are about to see something great. Well, today was interesting. And what was said first was Verizon wanted to talk about how fast their internet is. So they did, and they said that their internet's very, very fast, and that the way that they are able to transfer files is really fast. Spent 30 minutes talking about that, as well as gender equality in the gaming community. Another presentation we had a Take-Two entertainment panel where they talked more in depth about gender equality and representation in the gaming community. Along with that, we got a presentation from Intellivision, about 15 minutes, the Amico, which is a really cool console that allows you to play retro-style games with people. It's an enclosed system. You get video games that are really inexpensive. What I liked about it is there's no loot, there's no in-game purchases. The game is the game is the game, and at the end of each month, the top score online will be given a certificate. That's great. I thought this was super cool. A new system, a new way to play. I'm excited for it. Honestly, it's introducing video games and the capabilities of video games to more people. So I'm all for it. Way to go, Intellivision. Then we got a presentation from Mythical Games, diving deep into the blockchain world, NFTs and cryptocurrencies. Yeah, customize your character, sell it online, own digital assets. It's a thing, and that's what Mythical was talking about. They had some games they were talking about Blanco's Blog Party, and it was kind of cool, like just the customizations that you can do. They're doing collabs with Deadmau5 and Burberry. It's interesting. It's a world I don't know, and it's not one that we're going to talk about in depth, but it did happen at E3. So we're going to move along to the Indies Showcase, which I was really excited for. And they talked about a bunch of weird, different, interesting games, which is what Indies are all about, and I'm all for it. Goofy, silly, interesting stuff. They had a paper airplane game, looked pretty crazy. They had some RTS games that people are getting into. It's a genre that might not necessarily be as popular, but they got it. And they had a couple games that really stood out to me. Fallen Aces, which is like a cartoon film noir type of game. It was called Doom Noir. It looked really, really cool. It looked like the old school Doom games, except in cartoon form, and with a little power underneath the hood when it comes to what's going on with that. And then we had Tunguska. And Tunguska looked really interesting. It was kind of like a top-down Diablo-esque looking game in like the atomic world. This atomic time period is really getting a lot of love. I mean, with the games yesterday and the game today, I'm into it. They had some other games too. They had Extra Galactica, which looks super sick. It was a 16-bit 2D scroller. Interesting stuff. Really, really like the way it looks, that pixel art kind of thing. I'm into pixel art, guys. I really am. And then Freedom Games. Freedom Games gave a presentation. Their presentation was a bunch of different games. Airborne Kingdom, a SimCity type of building game, but you're in the sky. Dreamscaper, another fun-looking game. And then two that were kind of interesting. Cat Cafe Manager and To the Rescue, a dog shelter simulator. Now, these are the games I was really excited for. Koromon, which is a Pokemon look-alike, but also has dungeon crawling aspects like in Zelda games. It looked really interesting. At first, I'm like, this is literally just a Pokemon clone, but no, it has more to it than that. Slaughter League, which is like Fall Guys meets Roblox meets, I don't know, you're just running around doing some crazy things, trying to finish the course before someone else, and the deaths are extravagant. Lots of blood, lots of gore, but they're like block people, so it's not as intrusive for you. And then Dark Deity, which basically looks like a Fire Emblem from back in like the mid to early 2000s. I'm all for it. Heavy anime vibes, heavy Fire Emblem vibes. I'm there for that. It looks sick, looks dope, and I'm excited to play that. One Lonely Outpost. One Lonely Outpost being a life simulator game, kind of like Stardew Valley or Animal Crossing, except you're doing it on like a planet. So if you're into those, that might be your cup of coffee. And speaking of coffee, I'm going to take a sip of mine real quick. Gotta stay caffeinated to get through these videos. If you're liking this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to be a part of this community, it's real simple. Hit that subscribe button, and you'll be getting up to date with all of the different E3 news, so you don't have to sit and watch it for 8 hours, especially on a day like today where almost nothing happened. Except for these last two people, Capcom. Capcom, if you're a Monster Hunter Rise fan, if you're a Monster Hunter fan, we're going to get some more content. Me personally, I can't really get into the series, but Monster Hunter Rise is getting some new stuff. Version 3.1 brings new cosmetics as well as different areas to raid and do different things with monsters. And I think that's what you do in the game. There's also a new Monster Hunter game, Monster Hunter Stories 2, which the animation in that actually looked kind of appealing. Something that I might be interested in. Might. Capcom also went on to say that Resident Evil Village, that's right, Resident Evil Village is going to get some DLC. They told us that by just showing us text. And they also talked about their new multiplayer. So if you're an owner of Resident Evil Village, you will actually be able to play their multiplayer Reverse, which is, seems interesting. And they finished it all off with showing us tournaments of people who play fighting games. This whole thing was a really interesting presentation. I would say that the most exciting stuff that I enjoyed was the indie games. Capcom, if you're a Monster Hunter fan, you're excited, but they finished it off with a banger. They let Razer get on and deliver their keynote showing that they're coming out with a new laptop for gamers, the Razer Blade 14, which is going to put an AMD chip into a gaming laptop. Now, we here aren't really huge PC gamers, though it is a world I want to start getting into, but from what I know about computers, throwing an AMD inside of a laptop is going to be insane. And the one they want to put in here is a Ryzen 9 chip, which is crazy. Talking to some people in the community, I found out it's actually an insane chip they want to do, so it truly will be the fastest gaming laptop. Good for you, Razer. If it's affordable, I might get it. It might be my first ever PC gaming machine. All right, that's it for today. It was a real interesting day. And in light of staying positive about just about everything, I'm going to end this video and say, happy gaming.